Hi, this is Dan over at Studio Blue. This is 10-minute full body foam roll. All you'll need is a foam roller. I have one that's a little bit on the thicker or denser side. You could use a soft one, a melt one, anything will do here. So I'm going to start by taking this roller right around the base of my shoulder blades. I'm going to support my head, lift the hips with the knees bent, and I'm just going to start to roll to the top of my shoulders and shoulder blades and then down to the base of the ribs. And as I roll, you can always stagger the feet a little bit. You want to make sure your lower back feels supported. Really let the weight of your body sink into the roller. Sometimes we tend to just go really fast on this, but you want to take your time, breathe into it. Good. You can play around with kind of wrapping your arms around you so you're getting more contact of the roller to the upper spine, especially right in between the shoulder blades. If you wrap your arms, it's going to widen those shoulder blades. So it's going to change kind of the effect of this. All right, you can support the head, come to the center or bottom tips of the shoulder blades. The hips can come down, and then you can take a little bit of upper back extension, maybe open the elbows, nod the chin, curl up. So upper back flexion, extension. Think this is kind of like cat and cow for the upper spine, getting a little bit of a massage. Again, making sure the head and the neck feel supported. Breathing while you do this. I like this as a nice warm-up, kind of pre-workout warm-up. Even post-workout is nice as well. Last one. Beautiful. All right, so we're going to take this roller right underneath the base of a shoulder blade. So you want to make sure this, it doesn't have to feel comfortable, but it shouldn't feel painful. So my bottom arm on my right side, my bottom arm is a little forward, or it can support the head. My top hand anywhere you want it. I'm just going to do a little roll back. So I'm rolling over this lat. So really big muscle from kind of under the armpit goes down the back. And once I find a spot there, I can just kind of hold, maybe let my head drop a little. All right, I'm just going to breathe into this. All right, so again, I'm kind of rolling forward and back over this muscle. Not always the most comfortable, but if these get pretty tight, it can create tension in the neck or shoulders and or the lower back. We're going to come up from there. I'm going to prop up onto my bottom forearm, and I'm going to start to roll out the outer thigh. So from the top of the knee to the base of the hip. Now you can have your top leg forward to take some load off. You can really use this top arm to offload. So if this on a scale of 1 to 10 is a 10, definitely bend, use this arm. You want to try to relax the weight of your body into the roller. I'm rolling just a little bit forward, so I'm trying to get this lateral quad to offload the IT band. Right? And as I come up, I'm getting a little bit closer towards that kind of TFL, this kind of outer hip area. Again, you can have legs together, but really try to keep the weight of your body. So if you notice my feet are pretty close to the ground, I'm really trying to weight into this. Again, you can roll a little forward. Make sure your shoulders feel comfortable on this as well. Good. All right, we're gonna switch sides. So I'm taking this just kind of under the armpit a little bit, under the shoulder blade. Yeah, so I'm here. Right, I don't have to have my neck supported. I can roll a little forward and a little back, right? If it feels nice to have it supported, A-okay. You might also add some more weight to your upper body, which could make this more intense, right? Both hands would make it a little bit more intense as well, right? Maybe side bending over or up, or just making the motion a little smaller. You want to make sure you can still breathe on this. And again, my goal on this is not to torture you, but it's to help release these lats, which again can, if they get overly tight, just do some funky stuff to the shoulder and the neck or even the lower back. So these muscles connect all the way down your spine. All right, so we're gonna come on to the side of the thigh. So top leg can be bent. You can use your top arm. I'm gonna go with my legs together just because I do this a lot. I know it feels, I won't say good, but it doesn't create pain. Now, I do know this side for me, this left outer quad, my left outer hamstrings are a little tighter. So I'm just taking my time, and if you feel like there's a spot where you're like, I just want to hold and breathe into that, hold, take a deep breath in and out, and then maybe go down or up an inch away from that point. Again, just deep breath. So for me, I know this is a little tighter, so I'm just really taking my time. Sometimes if we go too fast, we don't necessarily get in deep enough. Good. Maybe just one more. And again, I'm using something a little more dense. My first teacher, Angela, used to use a wooden foam roller. A little bit, that would be very intense. One more roll, and then I'm going to come on to the front of the thighs. So I'm on my forearms. Again, you want to make sure posture is pretty good, right? I'm not here caved into my back. My core is engaged. My legs are starting parallel. I'm rolling to the top of the thighs and then to the base of the thighs, just above the knees. So again, take your time on these. If you really let your body weight sink into this, and then you can play around with internally rotate your thighs. So go pigeon-toed, and that's going to get kind of more of that center of the quad. And then externally rotate your thighs. So kind of turned out, and that's going to get a little bit more of that inner quad. So you can kind of play around with, what direction your legs are pointing to affect what part of your quads that you're rolling. And then you could also do this kind of one leg at a time. My legs are pretty sore today, so I'm not going to demo this one for very long. I'm going to stick to 2 legs today, but you could do one at a time if that feels appropriate. And, just remember every day is a little different. So whatever you did yesterday or the day before, hiking, Pilates, weight training, running, whatever it is, will affect this. So let's release that, and we're going to take a seat, and I'm going to take the roller right underneath the right hamstrings. I can cross my left ankle over, fingers are pointing out. Now I can just kind of roll a little side to side. If your hamstrings are pretty tight, that might be enough. I can lift my hips and do a little roll towards the sit bone and to the back of the knee. Right, or again, right, with my hips lifted, maybe a little kind of rock from side to side. Good. And just making sure on this one, the shoulders are really actively drawing away from the ears. Your arms are strong, and this isn't creating pain to try to release pain, right? To try to loosen the hamstrings, you're not creating pain somewhere else. And you want to be mindful on this one, right? I'm not going into the back of the knee or those tendons. And you can just hold in a spot, breathe. Yeah. And then we'll switch. So my left leg, maybe taking a break on the shoulders for a moment. All right, I can just keep my hips on the ground, little rock side to side, maybe lift the hips. You can roll. Maybe find a spot, a little side to side action. That one usually is a little more intense. So I'm going to stick to kind of just rolling up and down today. Good. And there's some other videos with lacrosse balls where we do a lacrosse ball release with it under the hamstrings with a chair. That one's really pretty fun. It's pretty deep. All right, releasing that. So I'm going to take this underneath my right calf, kind of center of the calf, right? So my left leg is just somewhere off to the side, maybe bent, maybe straight. I'm really weighting this leg into the roller. I'm going to flex the foot and point. So that's a place to start. Flexing, pointing. You can roll, a little side to side, rotating and rotating out. And then I notice when I rotate out, there is a spot right there. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to breathe and try to flex and point and see if I can get some motion through some of that tension that I'm feeling. Whew. So this also is a nice reminder. I need to massage my calves a little bit more. Find a different spot. Yeah, maybe a little bending the knee and straightening. And my hips aren't even lifted on this. You could lift your hips, but this is pretty intense, so I'm staying right here today. I'm going to switch. So left calf on the roller, weighting it, right? So, You may have to find your spot. Leg is weighted. I'm going to flex the foot and point the foot. I'm like, okay, this feels pretty good. So I'm just going to kind of roll a little in and out. I'm keeping my knee a little bent as I do this, just so the motion, I'm not shearing through my knee, but I'm really rotating the thigh. And I'm like, okay, I found a spot. I'm going to hold it, flex and point. Now, if you wanted more weight, I can take my opposite leg on top of this and kind of push down and, and roll side to side. I can just hold and breathe. I found a spot there. Maybe a little bend and straightening of that. Bottom leg. Right, breathing is important on this. All right, let's release that. And that was your 10 minutes of full body foam roller. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any requests, let me know as well. Take care.